Who's ready for some rando?
I think I am.
And it looks like we are off. Starting off, Link says $50, 50 rupees, starting things off. So let's see which way our racers choose to go. And it looks like right off the bat, most of our runners heading up to Uncle.
Yeah, they're keeping that easy on us first. Kohrek and Zelda opting to use the sign to grab the easy first kill here. It's kind of nice. You could get bombs or money outright from that, and then you also get the level 1 tree pull, which is 20 bucks.
It's not too bad. Could be worse. So let's see what Uncle's got for us here. And we've got Heart Container. Well, a little extra health to start things off. And looks like Kohrek's going to go straight for the chest there and find some bombs. Oh, that's nice to start off with because of early Kakariko access.
Yep. 3 bombs, that's the perfect amount to check everything but the race game if they opt to. If they deem it's worthy to go back and do it.
Yep.
Good old burrito and sanctuary chest.
That means most of the items will be in the escape, so we'll be definitely seeing a play on that later on.
Crazy how everyone's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, normally by this point we would start to see some level of divergence, but I think maybe we will, but we'll see soon enough. They're not checking Lumberjack yet, at least not all of them, but it looks like Kohrek. Oh, we got a map check. I think I saw a blue pendant, or I saw a pendant at Eastern and Crystal 2 at Hera.
I can confirm I saw nothing, so I was not looking.
So SirNiko's the only one who opted not to go to the Lumberjack check. So we've got our first little bit of divergence. He finds a piece of heart in the mushroom spot. Let's see what's in the Lumberjack cave. Also a piece of heart.
Yep, skipping Lumberjack and waiting to do it at a better time. You know, it can save you a few seconds here and there. And I mean, having the knowledge is nice, but if you can find a better way to efficiently route it, like say when you're going up the mountain or when you already have the means of accessing it, you know, it could be just a pinch more efficient in the long run.
Definitely looks like that'll be the case here. Also, the chat pointing, yeah, I bring the hype, but apparently I also bring the trolling because almost every race I commentate gets cursed. But we'll see if that happens here. Also, a piece of heart in the forest cave. So now we're going to start to make our play into Kakariko. SirNiko heading right to Blind's Hut now that he's got those 3 bombs.
You think it's every race you commentate, or is just every race on version V26?
I think it's whenever I commentate, he gets especially trolly for V26 standards. We got a bottle in Blind's Hut, as well as arrows, rupees, and more rupees. So not too big a start just yet, but we still got a lot of places to check. Let's see what else we find here. And in the back of Blind's Hut, we find Power Glove!
All right. It's a good start.
Of course, we love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Power Glove, you know, unlocking the sequence break if they want to do the dark room to get up top of the mountain, or it also unlocks those 3 chests hidden behind Sanctuary and the grave. Those chests have turned out to be really valuable as of lately too.
Yeah, I've noticed that myself. Big heart container already in the well, another 5 rupees. Let's see, we got 3 more chests to check here. Let's see what we find. 20 more rupees, 20 more rupees, and another heart. So a lot of money and a lot of love.
Yeah, all the runners are gonna have enough money to check Bottle Vendor too, and I would say it'd probably be a smart decision at this point to stock up on bombs too. Nice. That's
300 rupees, so he gets his money back and then some.
It's not a very good business plan he's running there.
Yeah. Slipped up there in the chicken shack, and I think that was his last bomb.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's kind of obnoxious. Those couple screens that he saved, he's going to be given right back, but, you know, it's a long race.
Yeah, we're just getting started. We got a long way to go. If that's the worst mistake he makes, he'll be just fine. So
now everybody's at the chicken house.
Yeah, pretty much. Kohrek's the last one there, but he's right there. And we got a heart container inside. So we're getting a little bit of love starting things off here, which is good, considering, you know, it might be a while before we see a male upgrade, so having that little extra defense is always nice. SirNiko checking sick kid, getting a little piece of heart for his troubles.
Looks like glove, a bottle, and 4 heart containers is all we've gotten, except for the moon pearl that was coming in the next chest, of course.
Timing, right?
Interesting. All right. Early moon pearl, early glove. If you get
a hammer.
Hook shot or flippers, you're gonna start being a little Aga suspicious. I think this one's gonna be an early hammer, though. That's my guess.
Seems like a pretty logical guess. 20 rupees in the race game. So, and piece of heart in the library. I didn't see that earlier, so nice to get a double check on that. So where are we going from here? SirNiko going to head up back to the sanctuary. I'm guessing because he got the power glove, he's going to go check the back of Escape.
Yeah, that's a good play. I mean, he doesn't quite have enough money to do Zora, and, you know, combo that with fake flippers and to get Hobo, and then Moon Pearl Water Walk to get the 2 chests behind the Waterfall Fairy. This is a quick, easy check, and he might grab a couple pieces to make his journeys a little bit easier. And Cransoon's opting to do the same as well.
Well, we got Bo!
Yeah.
We found the D early here tonight. Oh, that's interesting. Now all we need is a lamp, and Eastern Palace is looking nice.
Still looking pretty nice without the lamp. I mean, those dark rooms are a little tricky, but again, I mean, we've gone through qualifiers. We're deep in the Swiss stage. Everyone here is really good runners.
That's very true.
And SirNiko's going back, so it looks like he's setting up a hula here to just bomb yourself over this cliff, and the game registers you somewhere you're not supposed to be and decides to dump you into this magic rupee room.
Getting his Zora money set up here. Zelgadissan not finding much in the damn chest, but he's going to drain it, and let's see what that's got for us. Just a piece of heart. Also, shout out to Sim57 for the 250 bits. Thank you again. Gave us some of that before the stream, before we got this race started, so you were awesome today.
Looks like Zelgadissan was the only one that opted not to check the back of Sanctuary to get his bow.
Might come back to haunt him later, but we'll see. He's going to check the mini Moldorm cave instead, which is pretty much where everyone else is heading. So we're
sure he'll be making his way back there too. It's just hopefully he doesn't go to Eastern Palace before that. That would be a huge backtrack.
Silvers and Bombos.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad at all. So, yeah, he's definitely going to make sure he gets that bow.
Everyone did really good work bombing those Moldorms. They can be a little tricky to hit sometimes.
Yeah, you got to have some pretty good precision because they move very randomly, and, you know, you got to time your bomb explosions just right, especially if you want to get those 2 on the left side. So let's see. Zelgadissan going to head over to the Ice Rod Cave now. This is one item that's very hard to route properly. This is probably the best time to route it because unless you have the flute or flippers, it's hard to get back over here. So, and if it has an important item, which I've seen it do, forgetting it can come back to haunt you much, much later on.
Yeah, it's good routing to always try and clean up at least all the... Oh, wow. Yeah, all the Sphere Zero locations. You don't want to be dragging those when your opponent might have checked it, giving you just a huge disadvantage from the very beginning of the game.
Indeed, and in this case, it's definitely a good idea to make sure you check that cave. So Zelgadissan now going to farm some rupees here from this cave since he's got the gloves. He's going to make sure he's got his Zora money. So I get the feeling we're going to be seeing some fake flippering. In fact, I think that's exactly what SirNiko is going to do right now.
Cransoon opted not to do it. He just got his Dark World access. Curious to see if he's going to elect to just go ahead and clean up some of the Village of Outcast right now, since he can do it.
It'll be interesting. And also, yeah, chat pointing out, SirNiko may have made an error. He doesn't realize that because he did not check the Ice Rod Cave. Everyone else has. But he gets a bottle and a Fisher Price shield for his trouble, at least.
Ooh.
It's like I said earlier, if you miss that Ice Rod Cave now while you're right here, it's very unlikely that you're going to go back unless you know you have to. And that's going to cost him later, I think. Oh, we got a Dark World check. I see Green Pendant at Swamps, Crystal 6 at Meyer, but I didn't see where Crystal 5 was.
I think 5 might have been Thieves Town.
Oh, that's not too bad. All right, let's see what the big fish has got for us. Meanwhile, Zelgadissan getting another bottle, vanilla bottle almost there from the hobo.
Nice.
Oh, adding a B to it.
SirNiko might be waiting to find boots or flute before he decides to go back that way. So, depending on how late he finds those might be how long it takes him to get his mitts. But luckily, that is something that is locked, or it's mitts locked, which means that's an item that unlocks so many things in the game that you're likely to run out of spots to check pretty soon if you don't get those.
That's true. But since he has his bow and silvers, he's going to make the play on the Eastern Palace first, checking Sir Hassela's closet to see what's hiding in there. Meanwhile, Cransoon going through Skull Woods, not finding much yet, but we're still early on.
Yeah, Cransoon's actually missing 2 items right now to complete this dungeon. Obviously you need the fire rod to get into the main entrance, but you also need a sword to slash those curtains.
Yeah, so he's definitely, once he gets this last chest, which only has one, we got blue mail and Sir Hassela's shack. So he's got a little extra defense there. Nicely done. Let's see what else he finds when he gets over to Eastern Palace.
And Eastern being a pendant too, that's probably why Cransoon elected to go to the Dark World and check all this stuff. And maybe he's hoping he'll find a mirror later and he can just combo Pod and Eastern in tandem. We'll need a hammer too if he wants to do Pod. Early mitts though and no hammer. That always makes finding the hammer very interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Zelgadissan finally making his play on the Bank of Escape. Going to be picking up his bow shortly. So let's see what SirNiko finds inside of Eastern Palace as he makes his way through. And it looks like Kohrek is also making the play on Skull Woods. And, oh, wow, lamp!
That's a
Yeah,
that's a good find right there.
Isn't that tempting? It's like, it's just telling you, yeah, you might want to complete this dungeon now that you can.
It's not even as much, eliminating the fact that they don't have to do dark rooms. I'm sure that's a breath, like, oh, thank God I don't have to do that. But that's their only fire source right now, so you could easily have a situation where the fire rod is blocked by a lamp. And mirror is even a better find. All the value right now is in Eastern Palace.
It's one thing I've learned about the version 26 logic is that it likes to put a lot of items in dungeons, and to be especially trolly, it likes to preference pendant dungeons to make you go into those when you feel like you shouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's the real kicker right there with the version logic. It's not that it necessarily has a preference of putting things in a certain place outside of it. It likes to put them places where you just don't want to go.
Pretty much. Finding the piece of heart. So that's all 3 items for Eastern Palace. And he's not going to full clear it, and he doesn't have to. It is a pendant dungeon. So I don't blame him there. I mean, if it was green pendant, I might have been a little more tempted, but not for blue pendant. So he's going to head out of there.
Yeah, that's a smart decision. Looks like Zelgadissan's going to be giving us our first check of the front of Escape. SirNiko looks to be heading to the Dark World to go ahead and probably do his Skullwoods and Village of Outcast route.
Yeah, that's definitely what he seems to be doing right now. He's going through the Village of Outcast first, which is a bit divergent from what we've seen so far.
Actually,
Goes to the chess game.
Back. He's not doing that at all because he doesn't have the myth.
Yeah, he does. The only one who doesn't have the mitts is SirNiko.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were
I thought he was going to go do the Dark World play, but he can't get there yet.
No, Cransoon heading into Thieves Town. That's who I was paying attention to. This is my bad. So we're gonna probably get those first 4 chests, and if he finds enough items, he'll go. There's the other red mail upgrade. So we'll be seeing red mail soon.
This is actually a really risky play for Cransoon right now. He can't complete this dungeon, and that leaves him leaving, the big chest in case there's an item.
He just
changes one of them.
He won't be able to check the big chest, but he can complete the dungeon now.
That's a pretty nice find right there to find your first sword in the dungeon where it's like, all right, well, kind of needed that to complete this, so thanks for appearing.
Yeah. SirNiko now heading up to Death Mountains. She's going to escort the old man. Let's see what he gets for his trouble. And just a heart. Thanks for the help, Sonny. Here's my heart.
Yeah, that mirror and lamp screams go up to Death Mountain, and man, he probably has no idea that he left the mitts in that lone ice rod cave. So it's just giving him more things to do until he finds them. If he finds the hammer, oh boy, that would open up even more things. Wow.
Indeed, zelgadissan finding another sword in Zelda's dungeon chest. So that means we've got 2 swords located this far. Look, there was only bombs there on Spectacle Rock Cave. Kohrek looks like he took a death. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Yeah, it was just a death warp to get out of the back of Skullwoods.
Fair enough. And I know there was a bomb upgrade on Spectacle Rock itself, so I doubt SirNiko's going to pick that up. He's probably heading into Tower of Hera at this point.
He's kind of in the same rough situation as Cransoon was in earlier, and we already know where 2 of the swords are. He needs either a sword or a hammer to be able to complete this dungeon.
Also getting into the map check, it was Red Pendant at Turtle Rock. Ooh, that's a tease right there. SirNiko checking out Tower of Hera, finds the compass, and I think he already checked downstairs, so he's going to have to run the basement.
Yeah, the only thing he's going to find down here is a big key, so he'll have to go up and get potentially either 1 or 2 items, and if neither one of those is hammer or sword, his time in Hera is done.
A lot of these runners taking some risky gambles here, going into places that they can't really complete yet. And if, so far, for most of them, it's paid off, but I get the feeling for SirNiko, it's not going to. It might come back to haunt him. He may have to double dip into Hera.
Ooh, I think Cransoon took a bad death there. Trying to get to blind. That's pretty time-consuming, too, because he has to walk all the way back up the Hellway and flip the switch to get back to the room where he died at.
That is never fun.
It's hard to track right now. Everyone's kind of doing somewhat different but similar things.
Yeah, they're everywhere. There are places we've already been to, but they're kind of everywhere. So it's hard to, we got to make sure we watch them carefully to make sure they go. The only one who's going somewhere completely original here is SirNiko and Cransoon. And even then,
Kohrek making the play on Thieves Town too, so he'll find his sword and be very happy to find it as well.
Find his sword and his blue mail, as we saw earlier. That'll be nice for him. And meanwhile, SirNiko going to head up into the upper levels of Tower of Hera. We know there's at least 2 items up here. Question is one of them on Moldorm? If it is, we'll have to come back later to get it. He'll have to come back anyway, but he'll have to, he could have got this a lot sooner if he had checked other places. Finds a map, so yeah, one of the items is on Moldorm.
This was probably a pretty bold play to make before, I would say, doing escape or anything like that, just in case you found anything. I mean, we have the knowledge of knowing that it would have been a lot better for him to go get that sword before he came up.
Oh,
here.
he finds a sword!
That's 3 in the most convenient places. That's really unlikely. All right.
Was not expecting that.
I wasn't either. I was pretty sure. It was like, well, I guess I'll come do this later, but... All right, so this is the dungeon of, or the seed of all the items you need are in their respective dungeon.
Yeah. I don't know if we can call this a Shades curse, guys. This is more of a blessing than a curse, because yeah, they're finding the items they need right when they need them. But Cransoon is going to be our first one to challenge a boss. He's going to take on Blind, though. SirNiko is taking on Moldorm at the same time, so
Spider Sword Moldorm with no boots. That's no fun for anybody. That's even less than you would have in NMG.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, Blind is a little bit better off, and Cransoon does finish off Blind. So he gets $50 for that.
Oh man, he's getting bounced around here. All right, you got it. Yeah, yep. Good strategy.
He got through. Trolldomer's trying to troll, but couldn't quite pull it off, and he gets hammer.
Oh my god, that could be that's a great find, but that could be something that makes it very difficult to find the mids later for Nico. I'm a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's right here. He's gonna go right to Eastern Death Mountain that's exactly what he's doing. Makes sense. I mean, it's right there, but yeah, you're right. That's just gonna draw him further and further away from those Titans mitts in the Ice Rod Cave. So, that was a lucky play by SirNiko. That should not have worked as well as it did.
Yeah, I was just sitting here sputtering. He really needs to find a sword and a hammer, and, swords in the big chest hammer on Moldorm, I should have known.
I think you're counteracting my curse that I seem to have.
Oh, Cransoon looks like he did a lot of digging there. That's a lot of holes.
Oh, man, only got a red heart for it. SirNiko taking the walk of shame through the spiral cave. Let's hope this pays off for him. But then again, by the way he's been playing, and he finds just a piece of heart. So that was a waste. Now, Cransoon, he's going to take the Froggy on a world tour because he does not have the mirror. It looks like zelgadissan is going to check some of the remaining items he missed in Thieves Town because he has completed it. Or no, it was Cransoon that finished it. My bad. He's just making the play on it. That's what happens when you got a quad race, folks. Hard to keep track. So, SirNiko going through Paradox Cave, only finding rupees at the bottom.
I imagine SirNiko's next play, he'll probably be eyeing up Hype Cave and Pod, I guess. I don't think we've seen anyone go to Hype Cave yet, just because it takes so long to get there with the only having the mitts. I also wasn't counting items in Thieves Town. I probably should have been to know whether or not something's still in that big chest, but
we got Big Red Came in the Paradox Cave!
Nice. That's pretty handy to have. Unfortunately, he has no way to use it. There's Book, first chest in Hype Cave.
Yeah. Is that all we're going to get? Another shield. More rupees and more rupees. So, not really too hype there.
I'll take the Book.
Book has some potential. That's why I say it's not a complete trash cave, but it's not really that hype because we really don't know what that gives us yet.
Yeah,
we haven't, we don't.
But the Flute Desert, it's the only way you're gonna get it.
Yeah. So there's a little hype, but not as much as you probably want out of a place called the Hype Cave. And SirNiko is going to be picking up his book as well. The real hype might come from if they get the mirror later and can check the tablets, and of course, there's always the pedestal.
Good old pedestal dream. Oh man, with all the items that they found though.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. Thankfully, we have a few ideas. We know that Ice Rod could be there. Or no, Ice Rod can't be there because Turtle Rock is Pendant Dungeon. So
like
both rods are out.
Hook shot. the other flippers?
Yeah, flippers could be on the pedestal because
And,
both Swamp Palace and Ice Palace are both.
Flute or medallions.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
I think we just had a pet check and I missed it.
Did we actually see it?
They did. Chad did. 3 bombs.
3 bombs. No one was listening to me.
So the chat weeps in sadness because there is no pet dream tonight.
No, that's
Sorry,
alright.
folks.
I think this seed has a better potential of being more trolly than just an item on a pedestal.
Oh, trust me, I've seen plenty of seeds where the pedestal was the least of their problems.
When you give them full Dark World access and in different ways, I mean, you can already see everyone's in completely different spots right now. These are the races that are a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. So Cransoon finishing up his Frogging World Tour, gonna drop the Swordsmith off. What will they make for him today? Just a piece of heart. I don't cause trolley seeds, Soldier Hawk. I just happen to be there when they happen.
And SirNiko's detriment that, again, he opted not to do Ice Rodcade, which obviously didn't get him his mitts. And his benefit, he was like, well, obviously I should go to Eastern, so he's the only one right now with Mirror and Lamp, and he's had it for a substantial amount of time, which got him up to the mountain to get his hammer and cane.
That's true, though Cransoon, I think, is going to be making that play. He's heading up to Eastern Palace, so he will be finding the Lamp and Mirror very soon. So he'll be well on his way at this point.
And his red mail.
And his red mail. Also, I think, zelgadissan's got his Master Sword already, but SirNiko still not having gotten the other 2 swords. He'll have Tempered Sword before very long.
Yeah, all he has to do is open this chest here, and then when he finishes up Thieves, I'll be interested if he decides to go to Thieves or Pod first. So I imagine if he was going to go to Pod, he probably would have already done it now, but who knows? And Eastern seems like somewhat of a reasonable play here, especially since he hadn't even checked Sash. I mean, that's 6 potential items over here for him. 2 of them being really good.
Yes, very good. So he's going to be very happy with what he finds here. I mean, again, Pendant Dungeons are something that a lot of these runners don't always go to. And a lot of times that comes back to haunt him. Also, shout out to Dunehammer458 for the $4.99 sub, 2-month sub. Thank you, sir. Your continued support is always appreciated. Oh, and SirNiko making the play on Pod. And it is a crystal dungeon, and he's got the hammer. He couldn't complete it.
Got everything he needs.
So not a bad play.
5 unique items.
Yeah, a lot of potential here. So I don't blame him for taking this shot.
And the nicest part about Eastern Palace too is all the items were super early, so you know exactly what you need. And, I don't know if he was the one who checked the pedestal or not, but I mean, if Cransoon was the one who checked it, I mean, he immediately knows that after he finds all 3 items, he has no business being in this dungeon anymore. Exactly.
So SirNiko indeed making the play on Pod, or as Phantom Ryu likes to call it, the Mullet Mansion, because all the keys are most of the keys are in the front. So it's business in the front, party in the back.
That's Dr. Bob's quote, man. You can't steal
that
from him.
I heard it from Phantom Ryu. I don't know. I can't keep track of who says what.
At least I heard it from Dr. Bob first, so I'm just going to assume Dr. Bob said it. Ryu might have.
We got too many in-jokes.
He deserves it.
Yeah, we got too many in-jokes. Kohrek now making the play on Agnes Cave. He's the first one to head to Desert. Let's see if this actually gives him something. Nope, just $20.
Desert without the boots or a fire source is a interesting play. I don't know how I would feel about that one.
Boots, it's iffy because there is a small chance that it's not boots locked, but it's very small. But without a fire source, yeah, I don't see why I would take that risk, because...
You know, then again, that probably means the fire rod's probably sitting in the first chest in this dungeon for all we know, or the boots, because that's how the seed has been going so far.
I can believe it. It's possible, so we'll see if that plays out.
Cransoon doing the smart thing here, too. He just hit a dungeon and got mirror and lamp and was like, all right, if you want me to go up the mountain, I'll go up the mountain. Fine, you win. So he'll be getting his hammer.
And his Master Sword.
And probably his cane if he keeps going on the trail, too. So there's a lot of value there.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what else we found. There's the big key in desert, so Kohrek's gonna have that. If he's got a small key, he can full clear it. If it's on the torch, though, he is out of luck. And no compass. So he'll be able to check all the chests in here, and that also means desert is not bootlocked. So if he had gone to Eastern first, found the lamp, he'd be able to complete it under the assumption that, you know, the fire rod isn't sitting in one of these chests. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bootlock desert today. That's nice. I mean, didn't lock anything at all. That's even more unusual.
That's rare. I mean, I've honestly have rarely seen that. Cransoon now heading over to the Ether tablet. You won't be able to get it, but you can check it. But it's just a piece of heart there, so I doubt he's going to be coming back for that.
Would have been really convenient if there was something good there, too, considering he's going to get his Master Sword in this dungeon.
I know, right?
When he got done, he can just go pick it up.
The timing would have been perfect. All right, so SirNiko now heading to the back end of Pod. Now we're going to start to see a lot of items in play.
I think that was only one item in Desert, so that means Lambo has the second item, whatever it may be. We'll have to wait till someone goes with the lamp.
Yeah, indeed. $300 there in one of those chests. There's another small key, so probably going to have to go into the dark rooms, which thankfully he does have the lamp for. So let's see what's downstairs. Meanwhile, zelgadissan also heading to Agnes Cave and probably to Desert.
Yeah, I probably won't see any dark rooms this run because everyone's kind of gated to go to Eastern to get the lamp before they can do anything else.
Especially with it when you find it before the mirror. Kohrek now picking up his red mail, so he's got that little extra defense now. I think SirNiko's the only one who has not grabbed hit yet. He has not found the other mail in Thieves Town yet.
As far as the races go right now, I would say Cransoon just has he's got about like a half dungeon lead on Kohrek right now. The top race, I could not tell you who's in the lead right now, even though SirNiko is missing his mitts. That can be a curse or it can be a blessing. It really depends. I mean, we haven't seen any relevant items being locked by the mitts. He's going to need them eventually, but you know, if he finds everything he needs in mitts or his go mode item, that really narrows down his search options.
There's always a lot of potential for how this race can go. That's the beauty of the randomizer, is that just one item can make or break you.
Zelga's doing the desert without the lamp too, so he'll be pretty disappointed by this play.
Indeed. But SirNiko now going to head up to the back end of Pod. Thankfully, he has his cane, so he will be able to hit this block without needing to push the statue. Saves him a little time.
I guess I don't. I was just saying I don't necessarily fault the desert play, but you know, it's the Sphere Zero book that nets you all the items, whereas that book was actually locked a little bit later. You know, that's when you don't have to worry about desert too much. It's when you find the super early book that you probably need to go there immediately.
Yeah, makes sense. It's one thing I've seen about the V26 logic is it tends to guide you on where it wants you to go. It'll give you exactly the items you need to complete a certain dungeon, and 9 times out of 10, that's the dungeon you should be going to move forward.
You make it sound so easy.
No. I've tried to run it myself. No.
Nico doing the turtle room, and Cransoon will have a seemingly easier time with Troll Dorm because it only takes 3 spins opposed to the, God, like 8 billion fighter sword slashes.
Indeed, he's got his hammer now. And SirNiko going to be heading into the last couple of rooms right before Helmassar King, and thankfully he's got blue mail at least, so that will be a little easier, and he's got silver arrows, so he'll be able to one-shot it.
Yeah, having silvers for Helmassar is really nice.
Huge time save, because even with regular arrows, it takes like 5 or 6 shots, but with silvers, it's just 1 hit. So, unless you've got like Butter Sword, there's really no reason not to use silver.
All right, we can safely say that Cransoon is taking the very generic 2 crystal lead out of all the runners right now, but shortly to be followed by SirNiko with Pod, which is a really time-consuming crystal to get because that is a long dungeon.
That's one of those ones where even in go mode can be kind of tricky. But thankfully, he had little trouble there.
And I was watching, and I'm looking at his tracker. I don't see anything new on there, so Pod looked to throw up a big goose egg there.
Yeah, but it was a crystal dungeon, so they had to do it anyway. Best to get it out of the system.
Yeah, this is really interesting what the next play the runners can make. Cransoon will probably be showing us some new stuff here because he does have the mitts. So he'll be able to access the Super Bunny Cave, which is something we won't have seen. And then I guess whatever item that drops in Desert Palace. I'm trying to think of some other things we haven't seen, though. I guess hammer pegs would be something that's available.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't think SirNiko's done that yet, though. He is heading back to the Dark World on that side. He may make that play, so we might see that soon enough. But yeah, Cransoon now heading up. He's going to be picking up his cane here in just a moment.
This is SirNiko's first trip over here since I don't think he's been to the Dark World over here. He went to do Pod first, so he has all of Skull Woods and Thieves Town and stuff to clear out. So it'll get him his 3rd sword and his red mail. He is coming here with the mirror, though, so he can check those mirror spots. That's something else new.
He's also done...
Yep, 3 bombs can confirmed. In case you didn't want to believe chat.
Chat's usually honest, but every once in a while they can troll us. I've seen it happen, but thankfully they were honest this time.
When they tell me I'm wrong, I tell them they're wrong. It's only just a heart on Ether.
Yeah, we saw that earlier. We still haven't seen Bombos yet, which right now SirNiko could check. Actually, almost pretty much everyone can check at this point. It's just a matter of who does it, who makes that play, and do they need to make that play. Cransoon now checking the Super Bunny Cave, finds Das Boots! What are those? Yeah,
that's a good find there too, and that's something that, again, unfortunate for SirNiko. That's like the first, I guess it's technically not progression. It could be, depending on what's in the bonk rocks, but that's the first thing that we've seen that's been relevant and actually locked by the mids.
Quake at Turtle Rock. Yep, Quake at Turtle Rock, so that's going to be good. And he's going to head into the Hookshot Cave. He won't be able to do too much, but I don't remember if there's anything on the floating eye, but he can bonk this particular skull to check at least that first chest, and it's only a rupee, so...
And there's nothing good on the floating island. I know they checked it, and I looked at it. I don't remember what it was, therefore it was not relevant. That's how this game works for me.
Understandable there. Kohrek now making the play on Tower of Hera. He's going to be getting his Master Sword very soon. And I think zelgadissan is right on his heels on that regard. He'll be getting Tempered Sword. I think he'll be the first one to get tempered.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's going to be close between him and Nico. They're both on the right path.
Cransoon just checked the King's Tomb, only finding 3 bombs in there. He if he had started in the Dark World, he could have gone over there to check the Graveyard Ledge, and he may have to come back to do that later, but we'll see.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a little bit better routing, too, to go ahead and just do all 3 of them in the Dark World, and then if you want, you can even elect to go over to the Dumb Catfish and see what he has.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. But he is going to check the Bonk Cave and finds $50 there.
Actually, he didn't really have a way to do that. No flippers. So Boots didn't unlock anything except for going fast in this seed.
It still helps. Every second counts when you're in a race.
Oh, most definitely. It's an awesome item to have. I'm actually somewhat shocked to see no progression there. But Cransoon, though, does have the knowledge of knowing he'll be able to fully complete Desert regardless of what it throws at him because he's not been there yet, I don't think.
True. And actually, Chet points out a good point. There is still one place where the boots might still be needed because we don't know where the big key is again in Tower. It could be on the torch.
No, that's a good point.
Wouldn't that be trolly? Everyone else didn't get those boots in the Super Bunny cave, and it turns out it's boots locked.
No, it's obviously not on that torch because they have the boots.
You're probably right, to be fair. Besides, very few runners pass up the Super Bunny cave, so I'm willing to bet before long everyone will get those boots.
I think everyone's going to check it on their first way up the mountain just because it makes sense for them. Nico's going to be the only one that has a tough time with it just because he's already been up there and he'll have a rough excuse for going back, so that's further kind of setting him back. But I mean, it's not progression again, and I've seen a runner win without boots when the other one had them, so... Yeah, I think this is our first check at the Graveyard Ledge, unless Cransoon had just done it when I wasn't looking.
He did, and I think it was only $50 in there.
It's free money. Gotta pick that up in this economy.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of runners get a lot of potions at the Witch's Hut, so having that little extra cash is not a bad thing. But thankfully, I think we're gonna get our peg cave check, and he's the one with the boots, so he's gonna have the fast peg check.
And the little trick here, you just hold dash, and the item you're using, you get to do a dash, and it kind of does different things with different items, but it's pretty handy getting those pegs down.
And only finding $20 for his trouble, but at least he got it done fast.
And then they magically all appear standing back up again. How does that work?
Nintendo logic. That's all I can say. Nintendo logic. Cransoon now also electing to pick up the purple chest. We have not seen that checked yet. So maybe Gary will have something for us.
We didn't see purple chest yet? I guess not. No one had the mirror. It'd be a pretty long haul.
Yeah. He's also going to stop over at the mirror cave. Make sure to remember to drop the chest off first. Can't take it with you. Ice Rod!
That ice rod's all but irrelevant. The only way that comes into play is if Trinex has a required item.
True, but again, this is V26 logic. And I am commentating, and if my curse continues, that might just be the case. So indeed, Zelgadissan being the first to pick up his Tempered Sword from the big chest in Tower of Hera. So he's got the bacon sword, or I think the better term for it is the hot Cheeto sword.
I've heard that one too. I like that one also. That ice rod could remind Nico of the cave. You know what? That's a fair point. I'll accept that. That's really funny.
And Lunchbox only seemed to have a bomb upgrade in it. Cransoon, you gotta check the Bombo Stablos while you're here. Just getting $20 for his troubles on that one.
My. This is getting really interesting now. Between the locations that the runners are checked, I'm trying to think of our next progression. I guess it would be kind of a shame if they found the flippers, because that would just be like, go to Ice Palace, or I suppose Swamp, even though they probably like to do Ice Palace, but I think the flippers will probably be the next thing we see.
Yeah, I'm getting that suspicion too, but the question is, where do we find them at? I think Cransoon's going to probably be the first one to figure that out, because he's going to be able to full clear Desert Palace. So he might be the one to find out.
I think the only options we have available right now is... I mean, you have Spike Cave. I'm not quite sure if that's within the logic. They have plenty of bottles, but they don't have any invisibility items. Then you have the one item that's on Lenmola's, and then you have Catfish, and I suppose Pyramid too. That's something we haven't...
I could have sworn I saw somebody check Pyramid, but maybe I was wrong.
I could be wrong too. I usually am, but you know, if I am, don't tell me. I'll be surprised whenever I see the Pyramid item. How about that?
Yeah, chat confirming Nico did check the Pyramid earlier.
Yeah, see, Pyramid was arrows. That's what I said. So I guess Catfish and Lenmola's is probably what we're lacking. And I suppose if there's an item in the Thieves Town chest, that would be a huge swing in SirNiko's favor. Because he would have been the only one to have a hammer to get to go here. I would actually kind of hope to see that. That'd be really nice. Get trolled to be in your favor.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. He's in the basement of Thieves Town. He's gonna be picking up the maiden here shortly, and then he's probably gonna run over and check that big chest.
And again, I wasn't counting items, so I have no idea. I'm not even gonna look at chat too, because I don't want them to spoil it for me in case we know there's nothing in there. I want to believe that the fire rod pops up in here or something.
Well, let's find out. He's checking it right now. What's in the big chest? It is just 20 bucks.
Yeah, I told you the fire rupee was going to be in there. That would have been a huge play. Like, the fire rod would have been the perfect item in there for Nico. What a shame.
Yeah, V26 can't be that nice.
Okay, so Landmo. I'm guessing Landmo has the flippers, but I suppose Catfish could have the flippers too. But my guess is we're about to see the flippers right here after this boss fight dies.
Yep, indeed. Zelda now getting Riot Shield along with his boots, so he is protected from the front. And he's got the red mail too, so yeah, he's safe.
It's the ice rod. A little blurry, I couldn't see. I was like, wait, is that fire rod? No. Oh my god,
the
it's
flute!
the flute! Okay.
Oh. They have boots, they have cane, they have flute.
Yeah, they can complete Maya right now.
Yeah, that's where they're sending them. It's sending them to Misery Mire.
Yeah, go ahead and complete it. Misery Mire, I mean, that's 2 items out right there. They have 2 items in the Mire Hut, an item in Checkered Board, but it also unlocks an additional 2 items because that'll be the final Big Bomb Crystal as well, so there's a lot of stuff going on there.
I don't know if we're going to have the audio for it, but everyone, it's time to stand up and rise for the Link to the Past official national anthem. Get your swag ducks in chat, folks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose! So where does Cransoon go from here? He's going to Mire.
Wow. Yep, so unless Catfish has something, that's that flute is going to be the end of SirNiko's mitless run. He's not going to be able to go anywhere else. That's Bombos too, so they can get in. That's really convenient. Yeah, just go ahead and finish up this dungeon. There's no reason not to. You have silver arrows, it's much more manageable.
Indeed, and there's Ether. Still can't get into Turtle Rock yet, but at least they've got, they've got the Bombos medallion, so he's going to check Checkerboard Cave, and then he's going to head into Mire, most likely.
If you're either of these runners, you're just telling yourself, Quake, you can go ahead and be in Ganon's Tower for all I care. They don't want to see it. I 100% guarantee you that. No one wants to be making a Turtle Rock play, hoping that they're right.
Oh, Cransoon opting not to go into Mire. Instead, going to head to Agnes Cave. He hasn't checked that yet.
He hasn't been in here yet. I guarantee you, though, he's going to hop into Mire right after this. I think the only thing he hasn't done right now that everyone else has done is escape, so he's missing out on his Tempered Sword, but not an unreasonable, not the most unlucky thing to be missing out on.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. He's not going. He went to Death Mountain.
I think he just wanted to save and quit, so he'd skip those screen transitions. Maybe it's a little quicker. I have no idea. I haven't timed it.
Yeah, it looks like you're right. He's heading back in there.
Kohrek will be getting his flute shortly behind Cransoon. He's just kind of a step behind them so far, and pretty much that time difference we see is him doing the early desert play without having means to complete it.
It's a case of you have to decide whether or not you want to risk that double dip play, because you don't know if it's going to require it or not. Sometimes a dungeon will force you to double dip, and you never know when that's going to happen.
Wasn't even unreasonable by him, too. He might have just wanted to go in there to see if it was boots locked. So zelgadissan will be doing his pod to full clear that dungeon and find absolutely nothing. Niko is really running out of options here. That flute's going to make him scratch his head a little bit, but I said he probably wanted to wait until he got flute or boots to check Ice Rod Cave, so at least he'll, have that going for him.
That is true. Meanwhile, Kohrek now unleashing his swag duck. Let's see what we find in Mire here. Early big key.
That's the worst. Come on.
I think Kohrek should be happy he doesn't know how to do hover strats, or else this would be a real short dungeon.
Yeah, I'd be half tempted just to skip this whole entire dungeon and just go open Dig Bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the flippers. Now I would definitely be really tempted about it. This actually means, since he found an early big key and an early item, that Vitreous, I hope I'm right about this. That means Vitreous has a small key, so if he's looking for the last item, it's most certainly going to be over here. I'm a little rusty on how that key logic is supposed to work, but I think that's correct.
We'll find out. Yeah, there's only 2 unique items in Misery Mire, so if he finds the other one along the way, then it's a solid bet. He's just going to go moded from there. There's the map.
Oddly enough, Fire Rod's not even really required this run, so that could be something that they see in Ganon's Tower.
That's true, yeah. Skullwoods and Turtle Rock are both pendant dungeons, so yeah, Fire Rod may not even be involved here.
Fire Rod and Turtle Rock with the big key and right side in Ganon's Tower, that is literally the dream right now. That would make me so happy to see.
You are a true troll if ever there was one there, Act.
That's not even a troll, man. That's giving the people the option of like showing off like this incredible bomb jump strategy to propel yourself to victory. That would be a really fun way to win a race.
Of course, Cransoon opting for the easy setup here, or the safety setup, since he does not have Fire Rod. He can't use the Fire Rod glitch there.
If I see the Fire Rod, I'm gonna cry. Ether takes care of, well, kind of everything. So, SirNiko going to be finding his last puzzle piece, being the flute here, and realizing that doesn't unlock anything for me. And that was the last item in Mire, being the blue cane.
Not what he was hoping for. That means at this point, it's looking like it's gonna probably be Ice Palace for him.
Yeah, Ice Palace will have Big Bomb, and then, I mean, technically that Blue Cane kind of makes Spike Cave look a little bit more appealing also. This is another fun situation, too, that they're lacking the hook shot as well. I was trying to figure out in my brain, after watching that last race, to determine whether or not Chess can contain the hook shot or not. Maybe Problems could give us some more information on that, considering that was his race.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now. Also, chat points out another thing. If once Cransoon finishes up, he has another option because this was Crystal 5, if I'm not mistaken, and
yeah,
he's
Big
already
Bomb.
got the. Oh, that's what. Yeah, so you were saying Big Mom. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, well, Fairy Bomb to the moderately, or the fairy with bad eating habits, I guess. I'm not sure how to refer to her.
Eh. There you go. Reflex got the right idea.
I'm not repeating it, but I agree.
Yeah, you notice I didn't say it. Yeah, I think Aeroxis has got the name that most people call the double-chested fairy.
Cransoon showing us why silver arrows are pretty top to have for Vitreous here. Melts. And he has a small key, so either I was lucky or I was actually right for once.
Take your victories where you can, my friend. So yeah, at this point, we've got Catfish, we've got Double-Chested Fairy, we've got Ice Palace. That's our three main options. Maybe Swamp Palace if they want to risk trying to find the hook shot there.
Yeah. That's always fun.
Indeed. And it looks like Cransoon is going to make the play on the fairy.
I am so super curious where SirNiko's going to go after this. If he goes right to 8 and Ice Rod, I mean, what else does he have available? Is he thinking about it for a second? No, okay. I was just waiting for the flute animation. He's going
for it.
What I saw.
He's going to kick himself here in a minute.
God, I mean, he's not behind by any means. In fact, you could argue that he's very well ahead because of this. I mean, his next logical play is going to be, you know what, I'll just head to Mire. Except he actually can't get into Mire, so he will have to go to the top of the mountain. That's actually kind of obnoxious.
So Zelgadissan finishing up Helmasar King. And it looks like, yeah, right now our eyes are on both SirNiko and Cransoon. Cransoon especially because he's about to drop off the big bomb. Let's see what that fairy's got for us today.
This is the right play from Cransoon. You go in here, and I guess after this, you go check out Ice Palace.
Makes sense here. We've got...
There's the hook shot.
Yeah. Was that the hook shot? I couldn't tell. I think that was hook shot.
That is...
yeah, that was hook shot!
That's also go mode for Cransoon, if he wants to risk the bomb jumps as well. I wonder if he realizes it yet. That is go mode, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, this is go mode.
Yeah, you know what? I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Ladies and gentlemen, Cransoon has officially entered go mode!
Wow, he did all of that before going into pod too? Oh, man. I don't remember where that big key is in pod, but that is a huge time save if he happens to... If it's an early big key, I mean, he skips all that time. Granted, Kohrek hasn't done it either. But yeah, that's absolutely go mode if he's, you know, comfortable with dealing with some bomb jumps. In case there's a key on the right side of GT.
Oh, yeah, and with go, yeah, well, I'm trying to think, because, like, let's see. Pod, yeah, he's got everything. Swamp Palace, he's got everything. And Ice Palace, he's doing right now. All he has to worry about are bomb jumps, and yeah, he's set. But the only thing that might hold him back, as the chat is pointing out, is if the key is in right side, because then he'll need the fire rod.
Again, he can use bomb jumps to get past that fire rod requirement. It's not, savvy with the logic, so to speak, but there's definitely a way around it that's, within the rules of the tournament. And I would love to see him. I've been waiting for that situation to happen. I've seen it come close so many times. I haven't seen it happen yet. Oh man, it's very possible too, especially if you have a fire rod in, say, like swamp, like left side. I mean, you're not gonna want to go over there when you're in a pseudo go mode in a tournament race where like your opponent he might know how to do it. You're not sure or not. Like, go for the win by all means.
Indeed, he's setting up for the bomb jump as we speak. Gets it, nice shot, first shot. And while we're going through this, I want to take this opportunity to remind you folks, if you are enjoying all four of our runners, SirNiko, zelgadissan, Kohrek, and Cransoon, please give them a follow on Twitch. They deserve it for the hard work they're doing to make these races fun for you. And of course, shout out to both of our trackers, Dude and Buckshot Boo 24, and of course myself and my co-commentator Act the Bacher. Please give us a follow if you're enjoying us so far. We always appreciate it.
So Kohrek is electing to go into ice before checking Big Bomb. Not completely understandable play. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the right one for him. But it could be something that saves him because he'll be full clearing this dungeon, whereas it's like Cransoon kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, if the fire rod's here, it's not going to help Kohrek because Cransoon will probably find it too with how he's clearing this.
Yeah, and Kohrek will still have to find that hook shot, which he has no clue where it is. But thankfully, he has to complete the crystal dungeons anyway. Sooner or later, he will have to check that fairy chest to get it.
If you're curious about how close the races on the top is, zelgadissan is finishing up his Lambo fight, which will get him his flute, giving him access to the mire area, and SirNiko is down here getting his boots, which will give him access to getting into mire. Like, we might actually see both of them in that dungeon at the exact same time.
Indeed.
He elects to save and quit after getting those boots instead of checking that chest. That's a bold move. It's going to work out for him this time.
It's going to work out, but he's going to mess. Yeah, I think he passed up. Oh, no, he got his riot shield.
Yeah, he's going to check these two bonk rocks also. But zelgadissan has to go turn in the flute and wait for that animation.
Also, shout out to Farouk Chemist, who just gave us a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much, sir. So we still haven't found any significant items in Ice Palace yet. But then again, the only thing we're really looking for is the fire rod.
I'm not looking for it. I hope we never see it. And I hope we have a big key right on that right side. I want to see a runner win this race by doing that bomb jump. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't have any prior knowledge if Cransoon knows how to do it or not. I do think Kohrek knows how to do it. He was one of the people involved in the entrance shuffle tournament, which gives you a lot of zany circumstances, kind of making you know a couple more tricks in your bag to complete it. I do think he is capable of doing it. Yeah, and then, like I said at the top here, we have everyone, if not close to going to mire, but exactly at the same time. We'll probably check these three locations, and then once they turn up with nothing, zelgadissan's going to be right behind SirNiko, so...
Yep, and Cransoon now, he got the big key a minute ago. He's going to check the big chest here. This is the hook shot trick to get through, and there's this key. I think that means that the last item's on Cold Stare.
I think if I were to logically answer my question about Cransoon, I would say that he probably doesn't know how to do the bomb jump, or he doesn't know that he's in go mode. I think one of those two is probably a safe answer. because of how he's clearing things.
Yeah. Yeah, folks, Cransoon has the hook shot. It's Kohrek that does not. It would be funny if Cold Stare has the fire rod.
SirNiko again at the top with that slight lead. This is going to be really interesting to see where he elects to go after he finishes this boss fight. You know, the same situation with what happened with Kohrek. Cransoon immediately went to Big Bomb to get his hook shot, whereas Kohrek went to Ice Palace. You know, if we see any difference choices amongst the top runners, that's literally going to change the lead dramatically.
No kidding. And Red Meringue from Cold Stare.
How irrelevant.
No kidding. So he still has Pod to complete. Neither runner has completed Swamp Palace there. So I think that's their next play. They're either gonna go to Pod or go to Swamp Palace. Let's see what Cransoon decides to do.
I mean, if Cransoon really wanted to check things and look for the fire rod, he should go to Pod first, because he still has to find the big key in that dungeon, and that big key could be really deep in Pod, so you're checking all those chests on the way. You know, you have a pretty reasonable chance to go ahead and run into the fire rod just outright while you're trying to get go mode for that dungeon. But I don't know. I'm really surprised he's checking all of this stuff right now. He must really not want to go to GT without the fire rod, because he's doing a lot of extra things.
Yeah, and it's going to be especially painful if it turns out it's in one of those pendant dungeons, like especially, you know, somewhere inside of some of the early chests of Turtle Rock. Because we know it's not in Skull Woods, but he's only got a couple dungeons left to check. I think he's making the play on Spike Cave. No, where's he going? Did he?
He's going to Hookshot Cave.
Oh, that's right. That hasn't been checked yet.
He's checked one chest in there, so he's got the other handful of ones left. But he really wants that fire rod. Looks like zelgadissan, he's beeping at us a little bit. He has 1 heart left. I don't know if he has a fairy or anything like that.
I don't think he does. I don't remember anyone picking up fairies in a bottle, and obviously they don't have the bug net to catch their own. So, yeah, he is playing it. He is playing dangerously.
Oh, he's still looking for that last item too. I think he's taking the long way around, so he's going to be pretty much circumnavigating the last thing he's looking for in this dungeon, because he probably does want to make sure he gets both unique items out of it. We know it's just the blue cane, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah. Also, in response to Xcode, it says if the key were in right side GT, then the firewire would be less likely to be put somewhere stupid. You are obviously new here. You don't know this logic very well.
Oh boy. I don't know what potions they picked up. I'm sure he probably used it by now if he had one. There's going to be a safety heart in this middle pot here. But 2 hearts is... you know what? It's not too unreasonable to have 2 hearts to go through the rest of this. Silver arrows, you know what? It can be done. Just don't get hit by anything. The game's super easy then, right?
Yeah.
There's our first Spike Cave check.
Let's see if this is the payoff. Nope. Piece of heart.
Oh, man. He'd be really happy if he went and did the front of escape right now. At least, you know, that would get him a sword out of it. Okay, so this appears to be the swamp play. Ooh. You can really lose a lot of time by checking all of this. Kohrek's heading down this way too, so I doubt he's going into Swamp because he doesn't have the hook shot. He is probably going to turn in the big bomb unless he really wants to gamble on the hook shot being in Swamp.
Yeah, pretty much. But Cransoon does have the hook shot, so he's going to make the play on Swamp Palace. And with as many items as there is a good chance it'll be here.
Yeah, that's true. And this is going to make it even more interesting too, is we'll be able to judge by Kohrek's manner and how he progresses forward after he gets his hook shot. If he believes that, you know, he's in go mode, he doesn't need the fire rod, or he thinks he's going to find the fire rod along his way. So this is Kohrek's chance to really make up all the time that Cransoon had on him pretty much from the start of the game.
Pretty much. If he makes the right plays here, he could catch up very quickly.
Zelgadissan did manage to make it through the entirety of Meyer on those 2 hearts, so freaking kudos to him. That's a terrifying feeling. It takes so long to backtrack.
Yep. Get credit. That's credit to his skills to be able to go through that without getting himself killed with that only one heart. But Cransoon finds the map early on, so the deeper we dive, the more items we're going to find here.
Oh, by the way, Kohrek's about to pick up his hook shot, so if the fun commentator could go ahead and let everyone know what's going on now.
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do it one more time. Prep your ears, folks, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are saying Kohrek is officially now in go mode! You just wanted me to do that to troll them again, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah. Kohrek heading immediately to Swamp. This is super exciting for me. This is going to be the tell to really determine how comfortable he is with not having his fire rod. And I mean, if he go modes this dungeon, he'll be ahead of Cransoon. It looks like Cransoon is opting not to go.
He's go moding it. Yeah,
I don't know if he bombed that chest. I guess
no, he didn't. He didn't bomb the chest. He just hook shot it to it and shot across.
All right, we got ourselves a real race here now. This is awesome.
Yeah, I am actually, considering how much he tried to full clear Ice Palace, I'm surprised he's opting to just turn around and go mode Swamp. I think part of him realizes that he's falling behind and he needs to hurry up and rush this. Though, considering how early, we're only an hour and 12 minutes in. How he couldn't be feeling that rush, could he?
I mean, you're not thinking about the time of the seed per se. You're thinking about your opponent, and you're knowing that we've already gone through, qualifiers and multiple rounds of the Swiss stage. Wow, there's Quake. You're not trying to compare. I got a good time here. Everyone's pretty good in this tournament. You got to be thinking they're right behind you. Kohrek is checking chest here, so that gives me a good idea that he might be really wishing he had a fire rod also. Wow. This is really unusual now. It seemed like Cransoon was wanting to check everything he possibly could, and now Kohrek's doing that and Cransoon isn't.
Let's see whose gamble pays off. Because if the fire rod is here and Cransoon can't do that bomb jump trick you were talking about earlier, he may have to come back here to get it. And that will make it that he'll waste a lot of time doing that.
Yeah, they both might have to do it, to be honest. We'll see. Oh, man. It'd be really unfortunate if it comes to that. It might be a little quicker just looking up a YouTube video on how to do it opposed to going back and checking Swamp again. There's the powder. All right, that's a great safety item to have in GT also.
That's very true. So right now, Kohrek I think he just checked left side. Or no, he just got to the center. He's gonna check bottom end, which I don't think Cransoon checked.
He did not. Yeah. I hate to be. I was gonna say I hate to be taking some spotlight off the top runners. Wow, that was half magic. But I mean, this race is so close that literally both of the runners are in the exact same respective dungeon. And that was good for both of them. They both kind of didn't do Big Bomb and did Ice Palace, so neither of them have an advantage on that either. What were you saying, though, after I've interrupted you like 6 times?
It's all right, dude. There's really... You
And
kind
he's
of covered what I
dashing
was...
through Swamp Palace. No.
Oh, man. So Cransoon gonna make the play on pod. He did not elect to go back in and check those chests. So he feels like, I guess he feels like he's now in go mode now. Or I guess so. That's gonna be interesting to see if he actually makes that play. But meanwhile, Kohrek, he also did not check the left side. But I don't think Cransoon even checked these chests down here. Oh no, he did because he had to get the big key.
No, you don't need the big key for this dungeon. I'm not sure if you went down there or not.
No, I know he did. I saw him grab the big key. That's how I know.
Awesome, awesome. Go ahead and get your Quake and be like, don't make me go in there.
I know, right?
I will say, though, with how stingy the key logic has to be to even allow the Fire Rod to be in Turtle Rock, you could probably open the first few chests and have a really good idea if it's actually in or not.
Yeah.
But I would be very surprised if either of them elect to do it. Cransoon didn't have a small key. Was that a big key in the first chest?
It might have been. He's got it.
That is incredible. That is such a huge time save to just be able to roll through this dungeon like that. You check the first chest and you're done. You know you're getting a small key here. You can literally go right to Helmasaur. This is the dream come true that like I've never seen in my life.
Yeah, and considering the fact we know there's nothing here, go-moding this would be the right call.
Yeah. Whether or not they elect to do that is a different story. He's not bombing that.
No, he's going for it.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's done. He's going to Ganon's Tower. It's really the right move. Either he didn't realize he was in go mode earlier. He's like, you know what, that stupid Fire Rod's probably in Ganon's Tower anyway, or like I might not even need it. So it's definitely the right move here, 100%.
Yep, Kohrek now picking up his crystal from Swamp Palace. Will he go back in? Yes, he will. He's gonna. He feels like he needs to clear this dungeon.
I mean, this could be. Ooh, Zelda. He looks like he took a late death in Ice Palace. That's really unfortunate. It's going to be really painful for...
He's already in Swamp Palace, but he won't be able to full clear because he has not found the hook shot.
Zelgadissan might be somewhat rewarded by his mistake, though, that SirNiko is electing to check Swamp Palace without the hook shot. Still one more item left in Swamp, but I guess he didn't feel like it was worth it. We'll find out if that's the item, though, because I imagine SirNiko's going to check it if he's electing to go in here without the hook shot. You're not just going to do that to check one chest.
Yeah.
So if that's the Fire Rod, I guess that makes things a little bit more interesting. If it is the Fire Rod, I'm happy though. I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna be so disappointed if I don't see that situation where they got to make those choices. I want to see it. I want maximum pain and suffering. I'm a really nice guy.
Indeed. All right, folks. Well, at this point, Cransoon's got no choice. He's heading up to Death Mountain. So if you are, for subbers and for supporters who have donated 250 or more bits, this is your chance. Put your guesses in. There are 22 item locations inside of Ganon's Tower. Where do you think the big key is hiding?
What's your guess?
Oh, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to say left side, the room above the hookshot area, upper right chest.
I absolutely hate your guess. My guess is anything between 19 and 22.
Because you like to troll.
That's all I want. Anything between those numbers, it makes me happy. Unless I see a Fire Rod, then I don't care.
Wadakas with the 250 bits, thank you, sir.
Stocking up on a potion, nothing wrong with that. Kohrek is opting to do his fetch quest here. So yeah, he's looking for the fire rod also, and it wasn't from that powder. That's something we hadn't seen yet. And SirNiko is over here giving us some unexplored territory as well. There's going to be, I think, one map and one unique item in one of these two chests. He'll check them both because he's not going to know which one's which, but... Well, it's compass. Yeah, same difference.
Oh. And he's going to go the long way around to the other one if he hadn't got that one.
Yeah, he has to. He doesn't have a hook shot. Not a situation you want to be in. So if Zelgadissan goes directly to Big Bomb after this, his death is completely nullified, and it'll put him back within the runnings of this top race. Oh no, that's the worst!
He forgot to flip the switch!
Oh god, you do that on a... Oh man, that is a huge...
Oh, that is embarrassing.
Oh no. And it's because we're getting some similar questions. The runners are in go mode in case, unless there's a big key on the right side of Ganon's tower, and there's also no fire rod in Ganon's tower that they find. There is still a way to do some pretty moderately difficult bomb jumping to get those items in that chest without the fire rod, but if they don't know how to do that, then they would probably prefer to have it. That's chest 1 and 2, though.
Yep,
no big key, no fire rod. I'm happy.
Oh man, so chest 2 so far. Item 3 is gonna be the torch. Will be there. Just some rupees, so 3 is out.
Still happy.
And this also means Bob will live today if we get to see him. Cransoon bonks across there. So I said upper right if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there it is!
Oh, it's in the same chest as it was last race. Oh. Alright, whatever. I mean, you know what? No, I changed my tone. This is awesome for Cransoon.
And shout out to Cheesecake who guessed the correct answer there today.
Nice.
I could go for some cheesecake right now.
So Cransoon is in a huge lead right now, and both the people in the top race are both doing their big bombs like almost at the same time. Zelgadissan actually a little bit in the lead, even though he took that ice ballast death. Something I was going to say about Cransoon right now is he did opt to check a lot of extra things looking for that fire rod, but he kind of abandoned his plan like halfway through. I know that's going to weigh a little bit in the back of his mind, like, should I have done that? Like, is that going to be something that cost me this race? Does, you know, he doesn't know how far ahead he is, but that's something to think about. I've seen nerves get in the way in this tournament, too.
Plenty of times. Plenty of times. But yeah, this seed dedefinitely trolled them. The fire rod in Ganon's tower.
I mean, the seed was trying to be as nice as it could to them. It was like, here's all these early big keys to go mode your dungeons, and don't worry about that fire rod. It's right there. Wow, 2 wins. If you get 2 wins in this guessing game, you should just play rando. You'll be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
You save a lot of time with that early big key guess. So Kohrek will be cleaning up Helmosaur here and getting his 7th crystal. Cransoon fighting the snakes again.
Land mode 2, having a little bit of trouble there. Couldn't quite get the 1 cycle. And that turret down there costed him the 2 cycle.
Yeah, it's really a pesky thing. It just kind of knocks you just a little bit off of your original standing point, just messing up your aim. That one arrow he had was like super close, so I can't believe it didn't hit him to give him the 2 cycle. That was about as close as you get. Well, we'll see what Kohrek decides to do now. If he wants to just go ahead and head up Ganon's tower, if he wants to look around a little bit more. I think you have to go up Ganon's tower. When you see all those early big keys, you're like, oh, I better just, you know what? I better go, because my opponent probably did.
Yep. Yeah, he's heading up to Death Mountain. I think he's taking the gamble, which will pay off for him in this case.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too late for him, though. And we're literally like separated by 2 screens in the top race here, so it's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, dude.
And then even more exciting, we get to see their frustrations on what they decide to do with not having the fire rock.
Yeah. Cransoon checking the last few chests in Ganon's tower because he's probably trying to see if he can at least find a tempered sword before it's too late.
I don't think we know where that 4th sword is. There's definitely a lot of places it could be, though.
I'd be amazed if we find it before the end.
I was half holding my breath there to see if it was in that chest. I'm covering my ears for your reaction.
I wouldn't have been that loud, but I would have been like, ah! I would have been like, oh, as soon as I said that. But no, that didn't happen.
Let's be honest.
I'm always loud. That's just how I am.
Nothing wrong with that.
Could it be in the last chest? Nope, just a single green rupee at the end. Wow.
Hey, you've worked so hard to get here. You know what? There's a green rupee for your troubles. Alright, so it's going to be a Master Sword Ganon fight for Cransoon. He does have the silver arrows, though. That makes it a little bit more reasonable to do. And he has his safety potion as well, so... You know what? I imagine good things for this fight. I think he'll be just fine, but crazier things have happened.
It's not the worst. The worst would be Master Sword Silverless Ganon. That's the worst.
Yeah. Take some time to do that fight. Agatsu being not the nicest here, and literally the top race are both on the same boss. Oh, man.
Oh,
that finish is going to be tight. Like, that race can literally be decided who's... Oh, wait, excuse me. No, everything's good. Okay. I thought maybe Zelda hadn't done pod, but he has, so...
Yeah, they're both heading off to Ganon's tower themselves. Meanwhile, Cransoon is ready to fight the big pig. And with as much of a lead as he actually has right now, it would take quite a few errors on Cransoon's parts to lose this race.
Yeah, he's definitely his race to lose. And there's Kohrek getting his big key and fire rod, literally 1-2. Thinking, oh, why did I check all that extra stuff, man?
You couldn't have known. Let's be fair. No one would have known. I mean, that's a gamble you don't want to take, having to double dip into Ganon's tower.
Just do the bomb jumps and then free win. Ooh, that's a nice spot for Ganon right there. He's able to go ahead and get some doubles. Oh, he even got it on phase 2, so as long as he's careful with his positioning here, he can just sit here and take those free double hits.
Yeah, he's in good shape there.
Ooh, this is kind of in tandem, followed by the worst spot. He's not even bothering with this. It's very tricky to get a hit in when he's in that spot. But he didn't need it, so I guess he was keeping count also. That was a really good MS Ganon fight, followed with a little bit of luck too.
Yeah, so he's into the final phase there. Once the blocks fall, all he has to do is not take a hug from Ganon. He should be set.
Yeah, red mail too, so he can't afford getting it here. I'm pretty sure he still has that blue potion in the back of his pocket, so just try not to fall. Keep it on the map.
Pretty much. So, is he going to opt for the torch glitch? Nope. He's going to take it the hard way, but that's fine. He's got silver arrows. He should be fine.
Yeah, this is fine. This actually looks like he'll get a double here, too.
He does, so that's one more hit.
Oh, okay. That was
that was close.
Those are the ones that get you. If he would have, that could have been real bad. If he would have not bailed out quick enough and Ganon gets the free shot on you. But GG's to Cransoon. He got his 4th arrow and his victory.
He did. He's going to enter the door here in just a second. But GG to Cransoon with an amazing race. That was exciting to call. Cransoon finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 41 seconds. That was a quick one.
Yeah, sub 90 minutes. zelgadissan getting his fire rod and big key. None of them even bothered with checking any extra things. They were kind of a little bit of a different situation, though.
So Kohrek now making his way up through the gauntlet here, go through the bridge.
This top race is still lightning close. An extra cycle on Agatsu, an extra cycle on the Landmolas, a fall on Moldorm too. I mean, that can literally be the tail of this top race here.
This could be anyone's race at any time. That's how close this is. It is insane what we're watching here on these guys. Oh, man. But this race with Kohrek and Cransoon was also really good. Just seeing the back and forth for most of the race, and then just that one gamble by Cransoon to go ahead and make the play on Ganon's Tower pays off for him at the end.
Yeah. We'll have to ask him about that, whether or not he was looking for the fire rod specifically for Ganon's Tower, if he just didn't quite realize that, like, oh, I actually don't need this to get into Ganon's Tower. It's a little confusing, and I mean, it takes a lot to go right for it not to be required.
Indeed. Kohrek now working on Troll Dorm 2. Oh, Zelda takes a death!
That is gonna be a little bit of a game changer for that top race. It was, like I said, just a couple of plays, and I think Zelda was the one that opted not to go get a potion, whereas SirNiko went and got one.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to save him in the end. He's got near full health right now, whereas Zelda, like you said, no potions, and he's already running low on health again. He needs to be very careful. He's opting to try to catch that anti-fairy with the powder.
That anti-fairy is being so rude.
Oh, yeah. Just playing keep away there. So Kohrek now heading into Aga 2 as we speak, just as SirNiko finishes up here with Lenmo 2. And let's see if we can bring Cransoon in here for a chat. Cransoon, GG, sir.
Hello, thank you.
How'd you feel about that race?
Oh, that was such an emotional roller coaster. There were like 3 different points where in my head all I could think of was, that's it, I lost. There it goes. That was the race. Like, oh my goodness. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, never mind. Go ahead and tell us what they.
So the first time was probably an overreaction because it's me, but the first time was the death in Thieves Town. I was just like, oh my god, that cost so much time. That was awful. Blah, blah, blah. The second time, and this one I think was a little bit more warranted, was when I found Mirror in Eastern.
Yeah, that was one of my guesses.
Yeah, I was going into Eastern and I was thinking to myself, what is the worst case scenario for me right now is Mirror somewhere in Sphere 0. If Mirror is in Sphere 0, I'm in a really bad spot because I just wasted all that time returning Jeremiah without the Mirror. And then I found it in Eastern, and I'm like, well, if Kohrek got the Mirror and then went to Dark World instead, then forget it. It's over. And then the third time was the moment. I think you could kind of tell the moment when I realized, oh wait, I've been in go mode for like 10 minutes. Oops.
Yeah.
That happened to me as I entered Spike Cave. I made the realization, oh my god, I don't need the fire rod at all unless Big Key is right side Ganon's tower. And like you could even tell in Swamp, I was just like, all throughout Swamp, I was just thinking to myself like, I still kind of, I don't know if I should really go into go mode yet, and all that stuff. And so like I did the bombable wall chest, and then I got to the big chest, and I was like, forget the southern chest, which I think I saw someone say that was half magic.
Yes.
Okay. Would have been nice, but it ended up being okay. Because especially I had the blue potion, so I wasn't super worried about magic. If I didn't have any bottles, I would have been scared. But
Right.
But yeah, that was a thing.
I have to ask, what was your reaction when you went into Ganon's tower on the left side, found the big key, go one chest up, and there's the fire rod?
I had some words that are probably inappropriate to say on stream. Like, just of course is about all I can say, really. Just of course. And the thing is, if I had realized I was in go mode when I got go mode and really committed, I could have go moded Ice Palace, skipped the like 3 chests I checked in Swamp, and all that stuff, and my god, Thieves or Pod.
Yeah, Pod was a
that's
gem,
the
wasn't
best.
it?
That is the best layout. Literally just 2 chests, 2 keys, done. Like, that was glorious. But yeah, I think if I had realized I was in go mode, that would have been a PB for me, because my PB is only like a 125, I think.
Oh yeah,
and
probably.
So. Yeah, this would have been a PB if I had just like paid attention and realized I don't necessarily need Fire Rod. But
You still got a good time. I mean, sub 130.
I was really
good.
surprised when I ended up getting my time. I like was not paying attention at all to my times. Also, I feel like my execution was that's I'm in my
GG's to SirNiko with his roundabout race.
I just realized my item menu time was 224, which is like 7 seconds higher than my best for item menu. So I felt like my execution overall was really solid this run. So I'm really happy with how it went.
I also have another question for you, just for my own curiosity and maybe future strategies against you. If you didn't have the fire rod and that big key was on the right side, Ganon's tower, were you looking for the fire rod then?
Or what do you mean?
If the big key was in right side Ganon's tower, logically.
Oh yeah, I can't hover. I was bluffing when I was doing the faking the hovers and stuff before Moldorm and stuff. So no, I would have to go look for fire rod. I can't do right side GT without it. I don't know. I guess my next stop probably would have been Swamp, because that's like the last place I was given access to.
Might as well just go ahead into Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
You'll know it's there real quick.
I was so happy that I was basically in go mode at that point, because yeah, if I had not been in go mode in Swamp, I might have gone into Turtle Rock because of Quake in that chest.
SirNiko finished up first place here with SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 26 seconds. Followed by zelgadissan, looks like probably somewhere around 1 hour and 39 minutes and 3
Kohrek
seconds.
also finished it. Yeah, Kohrek finishes with 138.46, and zelgadissan finishes 139.03.
Wow.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, SirNiko, glad you could join us in GG, sir.
Thank you. I was scared to death on that one.
I wonder why. Was it anything locked in the Ice Rod Cave?
Oh yeah, seeing that, I was like, poop. That's a problem.
It kind of worked out. It's really tough to tell.
Well, it did help me out because it turns out the Smith loop was worthless, so I wound up not doing that. I'm sure that saved me a lot of time.
It just kind of, the only thing it hurt you on was, I guess, keeping you from finding your boots a little bit earlier. But again, everyone found the mitts and opted to do something. They did, Thieves Town and all of that. Whereas you found your, you didn't have the mitts, so you went and did Eastern Palace before everyone else, giving you the advantage of the mirror and lamp.
Yeah, that was
the hammer.
I was feeling really good at the beginning there until the ice cave had the glove, and then that was when well, shoot, my routing is in trouble. Yeah, I started playing kind of risky at the end. I think that helped out. There was something in Super Bunny Cave, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was the boots.
That was it. Yeah, so I played kind of risky there because I was thinking I could do the Smith loop, and I was like, well, let's see if Turtle Rock might do something. And I was feeling really bad when I saw it was Quake, and then I realized, oh, okay, well, I can get something here, and I felt better about that. And I when I was going for Hookshot, I was thinking, should I do Fat Fairy? Should I do Fat Fairy? And I thought, I'd pick a dungeon first, and that was a mistake. So I almost picked Fat Fairy first, and I didn't.
You both ended up doing the exact same thing. Your races were actually zelgadissan had you by I don't know, man, maybe like 30 seconds or so, but he took kind of a semi-late death in the gauntlets, giving you the lead back. Your guys' race was it was tough to tell who was winning at first, just because you had done such different things. But at the end, I mean, you guys were trading screens back and forth the whole time.
Awesome. I'm glad that it was that exciting.
It was pretty exciting.
Definitely. Also, speaking of, we also do have Kohrek and zelgadissan in here with us. GG, guys.
Hey, thanks.
I think.
And Zelga, you might want to unmute your mic there so we can hear you, buddy.
I think the question everyone wants to know is who was really worried about the fire rod location?
Oh, I had no idea I was in go mode for probably 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Did anybody playing this seed realize they were in go mode as soon as they hit go mode?
Yes, I knew that Fire Rod was optional because I kept looking at that, realizing, oh, it's optional.
Because, yeah, according to my chat, I got like a sub 1 go mode and then continued to clear stuff for like 7 or 8 minutes because I wasn't thinking. I didn't even think like, oh yeah, Fire Rod is probably optional.
Yeah.
I was scared that I would have to do right side because I know that you can do right side without the fire rod, and I've never tried it before. So I was thinking in my mind, do I remember how to do that? Am I ready to do that? And then I found the key, red, and I was like, oh, okay, that's good. And then I found the key. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to think about that.
Yeah, we were asking earlier, and speaking of the fire rod, we asked this to Cransoon earlier. What was your guys' reaction when you guys got into Ganon's tower, checked the left side, found the big key, and then went up and found the fire rod?
I mean, I knew I lost at that point.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I was behind, and the fire rod just was kind of funny, honestly. Like, I was kind of expecting that I would find it in GT somewhere, just because of the way the seed had been, to be honest. But I didn't expect I'd find it in the same room as the key.
Yeah.
I think I found the fire rod first.
But still, just that last little twist of the knife, just to tease you there.
Well, it makes it nice climbing up because I was worried about the fire rod strats for those rooms, and then I didn't have to think about it. Ooh, that could have been bad if you grabbed key and you didn't keep searching. If it was deeper in Ganon, that could have been really ugly climbing up those lamp rooms.
in your race, Kohrek, Cransoon kind of had somewhat of a lead on you, and the seed kind of you. It's really weird how the top and the bottom people. It's like you guys knew you were playing each other, and you did somewhat similar things. The the other ones didn't do, but Cransoon kind of had a little bit of a lead on you, and then he kind of gave up all of that lead with all of the extra stuff he was checking. And then you gave it right back, unfortunately, by not realizing you were in go mode. So
I didn't even grab the hook shot before Ice Palace either. I was going to do that first, Fat Fairy, and then I said, no, I just got to do Ice Palace first.
You both were in Ice Palace at the same time. Cransoon had the hook shot, but he decided to full clear it anyways. So, and then you were looking for the hook shot.
Yeah, at that point, I hadn't realized I was in go mode yet. So the reason I went into Ice Palace is I was like, oh, well, follow the breadcrumbs. Hookshot leads to right side of Ice Palace if the key layout is, a certain way. And I just, yeah, that wasn't a thing.
I was checking items in Swamp after that. I did quests in Village of Outcasts. It was bad.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely confusing to commentate on. I'll just say that I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I didn't want to speak for anyone's thoughts, even though I do that often.
Yeah, I think it was chaos for both of us trying to commentate this race because you guys were just everywhere almost all the time. There was only a couple times where you guys it wasn't until near the end where you guys started to converge. You guys were everywhere.
I'm really, really curious to see the to watch this race back, because I don't know, the routing after Boots, I got Boots in Super Bunny Cave, and then the route was pretty much 100% linear for me. I don't think I did really much of any extra checks after that point until I forgot I was in go mode.
There was a sword in the back of Escape, at Zelda's chest in Escape for the bottom runners. The top runners found that. You guys both never found it.
Ooh.
I was kind of wondering whether everybody was going to have Master Sword Ganon there, because you could even see after I did Fat Fairy, I started walking up to Escape and just completely changed my mind and ran into Ice Palace instead. But thankfully it didn't bite me, but it definitely could have. Master Sword Endgame is not fun.
Everyone was kind of lucky with where they found their swords. I think zelgadissan was the one who had maybe the back sword. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I know going into Thieves Town without a sword or a hammer is usually not so fun.
My plan going in there was I'm going to check first 4, and then I'm going to Death Warp. But then I found the sword and said, forget it, I'll full clear it. But, of course, I only had a heart and a half because I had been kind of setting up the Death Warp. / got unlucky with the Bumper Cave check.
It seems like we ran the same race, Cransoon.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see that, because when I found Mirror in Eastern, I was like, oh man, if Kohrek checked Eastern before coming here, because I ended up doing Jeremiah.
Yeah, me too. Well, exact same thing. And then when I got up to Hera, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I can catch up if there's no sword or hammer in here. And then I found the sword.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was like, that was like the route to do, was Eastern to Hera, get your sword, then get hammer, then do east side. Like, that was just the route to take.
That's what Nico did. He just didn't have the mitts to do it to get his boot.
That would have been huge. It was
really even more interesting for him is, there was that sword in the big chest in Hera. He didn't have a sword yet, and I already knew where 2 of the swords were. I was like, this is going to be a bunk trip for him. And then I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, they keep finding these items in the perfect spot. The answer...
That was great.
Kohrek, your early dip on Desert Palace really hurt you a lot, too. That was kind of a bad time sync that was tough for you to make up because you went in there without the lamp, so you had to go back later.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I already felt behind at that point. I guess I wasn't, but I did, so I thought, well, I'm just going to follow this book instead of going up Death Mountain right now.
Yeah. You guys were, literally equal at that point, except he did Eastern, where you did Desert, so that kind of made you play that, you know, I'm following in his footsteps, kind of because the seed was pretty linear at that point. It was definitely really fun to watch, though.
This was a fun seed. I liked this seed personally. It was like it played to all my or most of my strengths, and like my intuition didn't fail me, which is something I've been trying to learn how to do, is like follow my gut, because I feel like a lot of times I'll be like, no, that's not a good idea, and then it's like, wait, no, that was what I was supposed to do the whole time.
So any final words from any of you guys before we sign off?
Just GG's, Nico, and everyone else that was racing, and yeah, this was fun. I'm a little sad that the way I decided to die in GT, but you know, it was a fun race, and I'm happy to be part of it.
Yeah, GG to you as well, Zelga. It's great that we could have such an exciting race. That's a great thing to be part of.
Yeah, and GG Kohrek and everybody, and thanks to Ack and Shades for commentating.
GG, thanks to all. Fiesel, Ack, Shades, the trackers.
And thank you guys as well. Also, yeah, so shout out to all four of you guys. If you guys enjoyed these guys run tonight, make sure you give all of them a follow. SirNiko, zelgadissan, Kohrek, and Cransoon on Twitch, as well as our tracker, Buckshot Boot 24 and Dude, and of course, my co-commentator, Ack the Balker, and myself. All of the links should be in the chat right now. Make sure you give us a follow. In the meantime, Ack, any last words?
No, I got nothing. Friggin' fire rod disappointing me. I was hoping it was never going to be found.
Ever the troll, my friend. But in the meantime, on behalf of everybody here, I'm the Shades, and we'll see you guys next time. Rock on!